From the ones we couldn't get enough of, to the ones that totally ruined the vibe, let's break down the most loved and the most hated Fairly OddParents characters. Starting with the pink-haired fairy who somehow makes stupidity endearing, Cosmo. Cosmo is one of the most beloved characters in the Fairly OddParents, and for good reason. With his goofy personality, chaotic energy, and unwavering loyalty, he steals the spotlight in almost every episode he's in.
Good news and bad news.
The good news is I've named my nickel Philip.
What's the bad news?
It's a girl nickel.
Well, you know what I think?
At first glance, Cosmo seems like just the comic relief, the dim-witted fairy godparent who constantly messes things up. But that's part of his charm. His random comments, silly facial expressions, and complete lack of logic make him hilarious to watch.
Have you gained weight?
A lot of weight.
I don't want to be a crab all the time.
That's never stopped you before.
It's not their job to make your life fun.
Yeah.
Whether he's accidentally turning Timmy into a sandwich or confusing simple instructions, Cosmo never fails to bring the laughs. His absurd behavior is so over the top, you can't help but love him for it.
Suffocating! Oh, I need my space! Is this what it's like for Timmy? Ooh, I gotta unwish this win!
I can't send him back to his home planet to be killed.
But there's more to Cosmo than just jokes. He genuinely cares about the people around him, especially Timmy and Wanda. Even when he causes problems, his heart is always in the right place. His love for Wanda is goofy, but pure, and their relationship is a sweet and hilarious reminder that love doesn't have to be perfect to be real.
I'm Cosmo.
I'm Wanda.
And we're
Your fairy godparents! You can't tell anyone about us.
And despite being, well, kind of clueless, Cosmo is surprisingly brave. He'll do anything to protect Timmy, even if he doesn't always understand what's going on. Another reason fans adore Cosmo is that he feels like a big kid himself. He embraces fun, nonsense, and imagination, everything that the Fairly OddParents is all about.
He said chocolate shake, not chocolate snake.
Help!
Sorry, the secret word was pie. Sorry, is it my breath?
Kids relate to his wild side, while adults find comfort in his innocence and simplicity. In a world that often tries to be too serious, Cosmo reminds us that it's okay to be silly. Cosmo's popularity isn't just about the laughs.
Ooh. Goo goo.
That's the first time the baby ever sat on the sitter.
It's about his joyful spirit, his unexpected wisdom, and the way he makes chaos feel oddly comforting. That's why he's not just a fan favorite, he's a legend in fairy godparent history. On the complete opposite end of the spectrum sits Chloe Carmichae. She is easily one of the most controversial, and often hated, characters in the Fairly OddParents. Introduced in the later seasons, Chloe was meant to bring a fresh dynamic to the show. Instead, many fans felt like she ruined it.
Listen up, girly. You can mess with me all you want, but do not mess with my friends!
From the start, Chloe's personality came off as overly perfect. She was smart, popular, athletic, and somehow also super kind and generous. Basically, she was everything Timmy wasn't. While that contrast could have been interesting, it ended up feeling forced.
Okay, I wish we could find Cosmo and Wanda and escape from the lizard vending machine. Yes!
Her constant need to do the right thing made her annoying instead of likable. And let's be honest, nobody wants a character who seems to be good at everything and never messes up. It made her feel less like a real person and more like a checklist of positive traits.
Remember the song we practiced? If you wanna dress neat, you put your shoes on your hands. Speaking of stink, I can't wait to get started. I have so much stinky garbage.
Go for it, Kevin.
What really frustrated fans was how much space she took up. Since she had to share Cosmo and Wanda with Timmy, the dynamic fans had loved for years was suddenly broken. Timmy went from being the focus of the show to having to constantly split screen time and magical wishes with someone new. Chloe's presence felt like she hijacked a show that wasn't hers, and longtime viewers didn't appreciate it.
You two are just gonna have to wait this out until I find our wands. If you need me, I'll be in the garbage.
Okay, We can pretend to be each other until Wanda finds the wands. Just stay calm.
Worse, many episodes started revolving around Chloe's over-the-top ideas and need to save the world. It shifted the tone of the show from chaotic fun to preachy perfection. Even her voice and energy, always loud, always enthusiastic, rubbed some viewers the wrong way.
Unicorn plates, unicorn party hats.
You've got fairies. You can wish for real live unicorns.
Of course! I want that! I want it so bad!
Chloe wasn't just a new character. She symbolized a shift in the show that many fans didn't want. While she may have been created with good intentions, her impact on the series made her one of the most disliked characters in Fairly OddParents history. But let's cleanse the palate with someone who actually knows how to balance perfection. Wanda. Wanda is one of the most loved and respected characters in the Fairly OddParents, and it's easy to see why. She's the voice of reason in a world full of chaos. While Cosmo brings the laughs and Timmy brings the trouble, Wanda is the one holding everything together with her sharp wit, patience, and surprisingly deep wisdom.
Aw, you shouldn't have. And by that I mean, Timmy, you shouldn't have forgotten.
He didn't, Wanda. Look, he got us math homework and a dog lamp.
That does it.
From the very beginning, Wanda stood out as more than just a fairy godparent. She's the quote-unquote mom of the group, not just to Timmy, but often to Cosmo too. Her sarcastic comments and tired sighs say exactly what the audience is thinking, making her both relatable and hilarious. She's the one who warns against bad wishes, predicts disaster, and somehow still keeps everyone safe despite the madness going on around her.
The dumbbell for the dumbbell was my gift. And now that Cosmo's out of the picture, let us run away together, my little hot tamale.
It's my anniversary, you pig!
What fans love most about Wanda is that she cares. She genuinely wants what's best for Timmy and often sacrifices her own comfort to keep him happy. She doesn't just grant wishes, she teaches lessons, offers guidance, and sticks around even when things get messy. Her loyalty never wavers.
Sorry, Timmy. According to the rules, fairy godparents only grant wishes to kids.
Really? It doesn't mean you still can't pal around with me, right?
Not that we know of.
Cool. Let's go do adult stuff.
Okay.
And even though she's the responsible one, Wanda isn't boring. She has a quick temper, a sharp tongue, and a clever sense of humor. She's smart, strong, and unafraid to stand up for herself and others, especially when Cosmo does something ridiculous, which is almost all the time.
Yay, older Timmy! And I won't even need a babysitter.
We'll babysit for food.
Psych!
Blast you, older Timmy!
Wanda is proof that being responsible doesn't mean you can't be fun. She adds balance to the show, making the magical world feel more grounded and real. Whether she's stopping a disaster, delivering a great one-liner, or keeping Cosmo in check, Wanda always shines. Now bouncing back to characters fans hate, let's talk about the addition that made viewers want to turn off their TVs. Sparky, the magical fairy dog introduced in the Fairly OddParents Season 9, quickly became one of the most hated and unnecessary characters in the entire series. While the show was known for its wacky humor and endless creativity, Sparky felt like a forced addition that didn't fit the original charm of the series.
Hey, what about this guy? He's super cute and friendly.
You don't want that one. He's not too bright.
That's not a nice thing to say about the dog.
Right away, Sparky's character came off as annoying. He talked non-stop, made random noises, and constantly inserted himself into situations where he wasn't needed. Unlike Cosmo's lovable stupidity or Wanda's witty sarcasm, Sparky's humor felt loud, messy, and repetitive. His jokes rarely landed, and his over-the-top energy became tiring fast.
You're my new owner? That makes you number 84. You want to see the other 83? That's Barbara and Don. They moved away in the middle of the night. This is Bob. He went on vacation and never came back.
But the biggest issue with Sparky wasn't just his personality, it was how pointless he felt. The show already had a strong lineup of characters. Timmy had Cosmo and Wanda, two fairy godparents who already brought magic, chaos, and heart to every episode. Adding a talking fairy dog with no real purpose felt like the writers were just trying to keep the show alive with a cheap gimmick. Instead of expanding the story or adding new depth, Sparky ended up clogging episodes with unfunny scenes and forgettable plots. Even his design and voice were off-putting to some fans. He didn't blend well with the existing cast, and his presence often distracted from the stories viewers actually cared about. In a show built on a magical foundation, Sparky somehow managed to feel out of place. Many longtime fans believe Sparky's arrival marked the beginning of the show's decline. Rather than refreshing the series, he felt like a desperate attempt to appeal to younger audiences. And it didn't work. Instead, he became a symbol of what went wrong with the later seasons. A loud, unnecessary character that nobody asked for. But let's get back to the basics with the bucktooth kid who made us all fall in love with this world in the first place. Timmy Turner is the heart and soul of the Fairly OddParents. The underdog kid with a pink hat, a big imagination, and 2 fairy godparents who turn his wildest wishes into reality. As the show's main character, Timmy is deeply loved by fans for his relatable struggles, endless creativity, and emotional growth.
This is so unfair! Why won't Cosmo and Wanda let me inside their castle?
You can't wish yourself inside!
I wish I had a plate of chocolate chip cookies! I wonder why Cosmo and Wanda didn't want me in here.
At first glance, Timmy seems like a typical 10-year-old with average problems. Mean babysitter, clueless parents, school bullies. But what makes him stand out is how he handles those problems, with humor, persistence, and a never-ending desire to make things better. His life may be chaotic, but he rarely gives up. Even when his wishes backfire or the odds are stacked against him, Timmy always tries to fix things. That kind of resilience, especially in a kid, is inspiring.
Sunken pirates? Man, this is so much cooler than snorkeling!
And now it's not.
Give me 5 minutes to show you that Cosmo sinking Atlantis 9 times was actually a good thing. And if I'm wrong...
What fans love most is that Timmy feels real. He's not perfect. He can be selfish, impatient, and reckless with his wishes, but he learns from his mistakes. And through all the magical madness, his heart is in the right place. He truly cares about the people around him, especially Cosmo, Wanda, and even his sometimes annoying friends. His bond with his fairy godparents is more than just magical. It's emotional and meaningful. Timmy also represents what it's like to be a kid who just wants to be heard and understood. His imagination is endless, his adventures are exciting, and his struggles, though exaggerated, reflect real feelings many kids have. He dreams big, messes up, and still keeps going. And then there's the reason Timmy needed fairy godparents in the first place: Vicky. Vicky, the evil babysitter in the Fairly OddParents, is one of the show's most hated characters, and that's exactly how the creators intended it. With her red hair, devilish grin, and love for making Timmy's life miserable, Vicky is the classic over-the-top villain. But while some fans enjoy her role as the main antagonist, many can't stand her for one simple reason: she's just too mean.
Not fair! So, what are you gonna do about it?
From the very beginning, Vicky's entire personality revolves around cruelty. She bullies Timmy, destroys his stuff, and even finds joy in causing him physical and emotional pain. She screams, mocks, and manipulates everyone around her, especially adults who are too clueless to see her true colors. For many viewers, especially younger ones, her non-stop torment of Timmy felt genuinely upsetting rather than funny. It pushed the line between cartoon villainy and just plain sadism.
Introducing my new off-site bad seed babysitting service.
A 7-day-a-week babysitting service?
My parents are out to dinner tonight, and I promise them that when they get home, this place will look 100% different.
Unlike characters like Cosmo or Mr. Crocker, whose flaws are silly or exaggerated, Vicky's mean streak feels more personal. She's not just annoying, she's downright abusive. That's why so many fans grew to hate her. Watching her get away with everything, episode after episode, became frustrating.
Oh, honey. And you're beautiful when you're telling me I'm beautiful and angry.
Stop following me!
However, not all viewers feel the same. Some appreciate Vicky for how well she fills the role of a villain. Her exaggerated evilness gives Timmy a reason to need fairy godparents in the first place. Without her, the show would lose a lot of its stakes. She's consistent, iconic, and memorable. Exactly what a good antagonist should be. Sometimes the tiniest characters make the biggest impact. This little guy didn't need words to win hearts everywhere, and here's how. Poof, the magical baby of Cosmo and Wanda, quickly became a fan favorite when he was introduced in the Fairly OddParents. With his big purple eyes, tiny wings, and innocent smile, Poof brought a new level of charm and cuteness to the show. Even though he didn't speak much, his baby noises and expressions added warmth to every episode he appeared in. He wasn't just adorable, he brought a fresh dynamic to the fairy family, showing Cosmo and Wanda in a new light as loving parents. What made Poof even more lovable was how much he connected with fans, especially younger viewers. Despite limited dialogue, his reactions, magical hiccups, and clumsy flying moments spoke volumes. He was sweet, curious, and full of potential. Years later, when Poof reappeared as Perry in A New Wish, fans got to see him grown. Now more confident and independent, Perry added depth to a character that was once just a cute baby in the background. That growth hit nostalgic fans hard. It was a reminder of how long the series had been around and how much its characters had evolved. But what happens when you try to make an evil version of perfection? You get a character with tons of potential who somehow fell flat. Here's what went wrong with Foop. The anti-fairy counterpart to Poof was introduced as a dark, dramatic contrast to his adorable rival. With his slick hair, British accent, and flair for evil, Foop was clearly designed to be a mini-villain in the Fairly OddParents universe. However, despite his theatrical personality, many fans found him underwhelming. Compared to other iconic villains like Anti-Cosmo or Vicky, Foop never truly felt threatening or memorable. His plans often felt recycled or too focused on outdoing Poof, which made his character feel one-dimensional over time. While his over-the-top evil antics were meant to be funny, they often came off as forced or repetitive. His presence in too many episodes led some fans to view him as overused, especially when more complex and entertaining villains existed in the same universe. Foop's later redemption arc also failed to win over everyone. Turning him into a reformed anti-fairy felt rushed and inconsistent with his earlier character. Instead of making him more interesting, it left fans confused about his role and purpose. While Foop had potential, especially as Poof's opposite, he ultimately didn't live up to expectations. For many viewers, he was just another background character who never quite earned his place in the spotlight. Now here's proof that the toughest guys can also be the most lovable. He's got muscles, attitude, and a surprising soft side. Here's why fans adore Jorgen Von Strangle is one of the most iconic and loved characters in the Fairly OddParents. As the toughest fairy in fairy world, his massive muscles, booming voice, and no-nonsense attitude make him stand out instantly. Modeled after action heroes like Arnold Schwarzenegger, Jorgen is the ultimate parody of hypermasculinity, and fans love him for it. Every time he appears, he dominates the screen with his dramatic entrances, shouting, and rule-enforcing behavior. Whether he's crushing a wand with his bare hands or yelling about the rules, Jorgen brings a hilarious intensity that contrasts perfectly with the show's usual silliness. His seriousness in a world full of magical chaos makes him both funny and oddly reassuring. But what really makes Jorgen a fan favorite is his hidden soft side. Beneath the shouting and flexing, he actually cares deeply about Fairy World and even Timmy. He occasionally shows vulnerability, like in episodes involving his love life or childhood memories, reminding fans that even the strongest characters have a heart. Finally, let's talk about the teacher who split fans right down the middle. Mr. Crocker, Timmy Turner's paranoid school teacher, is one of the most recognizable and divisive characters in the Fairly OddParents. Known for his wild expressions, twitchy body movements, and his iconic scream of "Fairy Godparents!" Crocker started off as a hilarious and over-the-top villain, but over time, that same energy began to wear thin for many fans. At first, Crocker's obsession with proving the existence of fairy godparents added a fun conspiracy theorist edge to the show. His chaotic behavior, bizarre flashbacks, and random shouting made him unpredictable and memorable. But as the seasons went on, his character became stuck in a loop. He discovered Timmy had fairies, scream uncontrollably, get humiliated, and reset by the next episode. The routine felt stale and overly repetitive. His exaggerated behavior, which was funny in small doses, started to become grating, especially for older viewers. Some fans also found him more irritating than entertaining, as the show leaned heavily on his antics in later episodes. Still, there's no denying Crocker's place as an important part of the show's identity. While many viewers grew tired of his one-note obsession, others still appreciate his manic energy. Love him or hate him, Mr. Crocker remains a uniquely unhinged piece of Fairly OddParents history. And that wraps it up. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment with your most loved or hated Fairly OddParents characters. Also, watch this next video on your screen right now. You'll love it.